this past weekend was obviously the NFL draft. While I was watching the draft, I was not listening to the draft. I had that thing muted. I couldn't take any more sad stories or anything like that on these dudes' biggest days. I'm sure that works somewhere. You see America's Got Talent does it. The Voice does it. The ESPN NFL Draft Show tried to do it. It's like, I understand that everybody has a story. And I think that's something that I learned a long time ago. It's like, everybody has a story. Or some stories much worse than others, yes, but everybody has a story. I would watch people come up to Peyton and they'd be like, oh, please sign for my sister's brother has cancer or something. Will you sign that? And Peyton's always like, hey, you don't need to tell me. Like, hey, I will sign for you, right? And then as you watch people, and as I got older and people wanted to, maybe ask for my Hancock, and I would either sign Kobe Bryant or Peyton Manning or myself. But everybody, even if they don't know who I am, they tell you some incredibly sad story. It's like, I very much understand that some sad stories are more sad than other sad stories. But if you ask any human being on earth, I'm sure there has been a point in their life where they've had to go through something. So whenever it's kind of forced down your throat, I think a lot of people like myself can be like, enough with this. Okay, I'm already locked in my house. Now I got to learn about what this person's overcome. Instead of just celebrating the human for having the biggest moment of their life, now we're trying to take them back to their whole story. And I have a very different vision on what draft should be as opposed to what they think. So I muted it. The one thing I did love was Roger Goodell. And apparently, a lot of people listened to it with sound, did not like Roger Goodell. And I did not know that. I listened to it on mute. I thought he looked incredible, had a cool little quarter zip, had the polo underneath, hand in the pocket, waving at the fans. Come on, guys. Having his M&Ms that he pick up every once in a while. I guess while he was talking and reading, he sounded like a robot, which, by the way, I did not hear. The only thing I saw was him get on his chair that's 30 years old with a T-shirt on, legs spread, reading a card, basically saying, this has gone too damn long. I am done with this, but here I am holding up my obligation. And I guess he went and did yard work as well while he was calling. I mean, I thought this weekend was won by Roger Goodell. A lot of people on Twitter did not think that. And by the way, I do believe it. If you would have watched it on mute, you would have liked Roger Goodell a lot more. That's just, if you would have, maybe that's the way, but maybe Roger Goodell's new PR plan is, hey, just turn it down when I get on, and then you'll love everything I'm about. But I thought the draft was an overwhelming success. I think the stories were a bit too much for me. That's just not my thing. Sure. But I muted it immediately. So it's like, okay, I'm done with this. So I got a chance to watch along and see some stuff and do my own takeaways, but I didn't really listen to much. But I do know that there was only one team that lost. You go into draft weekend and you think, you know what? You can't lose draft weekend. You just can't lose it. You can either maintain where you're at, or you get better by the addition of a player that could change your franchise. For me, I feel like there's one team that lost it, and that's the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. Because the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur, you can obviously tell is no longer in on the Aaron Rodgers offense. He wants to shape this offense to be his offense, which, by the way, has shown to be a bit successful in the NFL as of late. The Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, run, scat back quarterback, throw the ball offense worked. Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, that offense worked. But I would assume that whenever you were in Baltimore and you had Joe Flacco, if Aaron Rodgers was there, they probably would have stuck with Aaron Rodgers. In Tennessee Titans, they had Marcus Mariota there before Tannehill. I assume if they had Aaron Rodgers, they would have stuck with Aaron Rodgers. Now here we are with the Green Bay Packers, and it feels as if Matt LaFleur would like to institute the offense that led him to the number 27 scoring offense in the NFL, which was his Marcus Mariota Tennessee Titans offense. And for me, if you have Aaron Rodgers there, you're adjusting how you game plan as opposed to making the entire team change and throwing away the last couple years of Aaron Rodgers' career. That's just what I think. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't think I am. I don't think I ever will be. But I think Matt LaFleur's a stooge. Jalen Hurts went to the Philadelphia Eagles. I actually don't hate that move, by the way. I don't. You want to talk about injury prone? Okay, we can talk about injury prone now, right? I think Carson Wentz, whether it's his fault or not, he has not played long enough to get over the hump of people saying he is injury prone. So if Jalen Hurts can be a good player and win some games, get him in there. And maybe, by the way, you get a Taysom Hill package for old Jalen Hurts. He runs strong. Jalen Hurts runs very strong with the ball. And he is a very strong guy who'll buy in. Maybe the Jalen Hurts thing doesn't confuse me as much as the Jordan Love, but I feel like Philadelphia I tested the waters on Twitter. I said, Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts, let's hear it, is what I said. And it was an onslaught of that very large African-American man who yells at his phone.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? He's
EDP, I think.
Yeah, he's like a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. That's all it was just an onslaught of that. Howie Roseman, see, he thinks he's smart, but he's not. He's a dumb mother. Like, that's literally what everything was. I was like, okay, so Philadelphia's not happy about this, but I don't think that's that terrible of a decision. I just think the Jordan Love one is just a wasted opportunity to make your team better.